Perfect fit closets, garage cabinetry, how to use hardware. Let's take a quick peek at what that's all about. If we double click our local browser, we're going to double click on our categories, and we've got a closet section as well as a garage section. In our garage section, we're going to double click our hardware. In our hardware, in our hardware section, we have hardware, hinge, and slides. Let's talk about our hardware. In this section, we have a note right away that says non-graphical. These items need to be used in item list, sold as per piece. You'll note that these are one and the same with our closet hardware. A lot of the fasteners can be used interchangeably. Most notably, in our hardware, we have our garage items such as our wafer screws, conformant screws, and so forth. So let's take a quick peek on how that's being used. If we take a look at garage cabinetry, this is a garage cabinet. It's got a back to it. Let's go into our T-mod, and let's left click our attributes. Every time we drag and drop tall cabinetry for our garages here, we know that it comes with different types of fasteners in comparison with our actual closet line. With the closets, we use different types of end and double fasteners, as well as cams. With the garage cabinetry, we can see that the garage panel uses a combination of dowels and conformat screws. Garage panel on the right, dowels, conformant screws. Decks, which is the bottom shelf, also known as the garage deck, uses dowels and conformant screws. So they use different components. And at the very bottom, we have wafer screws. Wafer screws are screwing from the back panel right onto the wooden stud. If we go right into our dealer portal, then I'll start over. We're going to hover over our product overview, left click job aids and fasteners, and we're going to left click fasteners. The ones specifically known for garages is going to be this one here, the flat number 8 1 1/4 screw. If your installer wishes to have these are great for joining two panels together or two modules together. This could actually be used and be hidden behind hinges and so forth, and then we can actually connect two pieces together. So if we take a look at elevation 1, if we want to connect these two pieces together, we can easily use a 1 1/4 inch screw, combine them together, hide it behind hinges, and so forth, and conceal it. The best way to actually combine two modules together that's not added, and this is completely optional, is connector sleeves M4 and the metric screw M4. We've got a female and we have a male end. Your installer will just pre-drill 2 holes between the 2 panels and the 2 modules, and then we can put these together and join 2 panels together. So that's the best method to do that. So again, the notable fasteners are going to be the conformant screws and dowels, which we've already included the dowels. I believe dowels are at the very bottom right here. So we've got wood dowels and conformant screws. We've also got our wafer screws that connects the back panel onto the wooden studs. And these come with it, and the dowels. And these are the extras in case you wanted to add some. To add these, because these are non-graphical items, we need to go to item list. There's 2 ways to access the item list. Here is the first way. The first way is to left-click our Items tab at the very top left-hand side of our 2020 platform. I'm going to left-click Item List, which is also known as Show Item List. So I'm going to left-click here, and it goes into our item list here. I have at the very bottom my Items tab, Calculated Items tab, Accessories Extra Cost tab, and Comments tab. Underneath Accessories Extra Cost, this is where I'm going to be adding it. I've already added in a few, but let's delete these and start over again. So these are my items. If I want to see the description a little bit better, I can right-click off screen, left-click Display Settings, and left-click Description. If I click Apply and OK, we can show the description list here. it's really difficult sometimes to read the manufacturing codes. These are the dragged and dropped items. For the things that are non-graphical, we can left click the accessories extra cost. I've got $0 in here. And here I can add adjustable shelf pins, shelf support glass pins, extra screws. Number 8 by 1 1/4 is going to be a popular one. And I can easily, if I want more screws, I can easily left click, drag and drop it, and it will ask me for the quantity as per piece. If I want an extra half a dozen screws, so I'll type in 6, we'll click on OK, and we'll be charged 18 cents. Here's another one. Here is the wafer screws. If you want extra so that your installer can adhere it to the back wall, again, we can just easily add as many wafer screws as we wish as extras. We always give you extras. We will always, for every single part. If you need 4 conformant screws, we'll give you 5. If you need 6 dowels, we'll give you 7. But these are always nice to have a little bit extra in the installer's toolbox. The other item that is not added, and again, this is something that you can certainly add at a later time, is the connector sleeves and the metric screw. So if I want to add these in because they're not added, I can scroll down until I can see the conformat screw. So I can left click, drag in the conformat screw, and select how many I wish. So let's say that I wanted 20 of them, but I also need, so that is going to be the actual female end. On anything that says non-graphical, if I quickly want to see the item, I can right click the item, left click specs, and it will quickly show you and give you an actual picture. If we keep scrolling down, here is the metric breakaway handles, connector sleeves, and so forth. So actually I chose the conformant screw that's already coming with it, but right here, connector sleeve and metric screw. I can click on the connector sleeve, and let's just say that I wanted 20 of them. We'll click on OK, and it comes at $1.80. And then we can click on the male end as well. Click on 20, click on OK. And again, we can right click and left click specs, and it will show you the exact screw it is. Anything that says non-graphical, all we have to do is right click the item, left click on specs, and it'll show you the actual item. So once again, anything that says non-graphical, we can right click and left click specs and shows you what it is. You could also reference that into our dealer portal under fasteners, and you can see all the different types of fasteners, and it gives you a little description on what these items are currently used for. Another way to actually review the actual fasteners, because there's a plethora of them, is you can easily go into our training section, and underneath installation section, we can go to product identification and fastener how-to. If we scroll down, we can see our wall panels. These are all the fasteners for this. If we keep scrolling down, we have dividers. If you need a divider, these are the screws that come with it, and so forth. And much, much more. So it gives you a quick tutorial. So there's several areas where you can reference the type of screws that are being used for the type of application. I'm going to right click and show design. The other way to get to the show item list is we can right click off screen at any time, either the top view or the elevation view. If I select the elevation view, I could right click off screen right here where my mouse is, right click, and now I can left click show item lists. In the show item list, I'm back in my show item list. And again, I can right click in the darker area and left click show design to go back to the design. I can either right click and go to display settings, and I can left click description, click apply, and now I can see the exact type of description for my item. All the dragged and dropped items will be underneath the items tab. Any moldings and so forth will be in the calculated items tab. And anything underneath accessories extra cost is the non-graphical items, which we're just talking about in terms of our hardware. We have everything from dowels, grommets, fixed shelf cams for our closets, and so forth. If you have any questions, please do contact us at support@perfectfitcanada.com. And this concludes our hardware video.